Darcy, can you tell us how you've got to Melbourne, how the whole thing played out yesterday?
Yeah, so we got an email yesterday morning saying that the possibility of us flying to Melbourne was going to happen. So, and then as the day wore on, it became more and more clear that we're going to have to come to Melbourne. So we had to drop a bag off, working on about 2 weeks, potentially staying here. And then, we obviously flew out last night with the Crows on the flight as well. So it all happened reasonably quick. And, that's just the way things are at the minute with, the landscape of the AFL world. So, come over here with a positive mindset and, however long we're here for is what we're ready for.
So what will play out now? You train at Windy Hill?
Yeah, we're training at Windy Hill at Essendon's facilities today. So we'll head out there and do our main training session for the week and do some gym out there. So, we're grateful that they've allowed us to do that, and we're excited to get out there today.
So how much changes from a normal week preparing for an away game?
Not a whole lot, to be honest. We've tried to keep things reasonably similar to what they would be like if we were in Adelaide. So obviously yesterday was a little bit different, but today's reasonably similar in terms of scheduling and training wise. And we've got, most of the group over here with us as well. So we'll have a good group out training, and I'm sure we'll get a good session in.
Now, you've all got real... Does it play on you? You don't know how long you're going to be away for?
Personally, not really. I think, the club's been pretty clear in making sure that we're ready to be here for 2 weeks, and then anything less than that is probably a bonus for the guys that do have families and want to get home. So, I'm in the mindset that we're going to be here for 2 weeks, and anything less than that is like I said, a bonus.
How many have you taken over, Darcy? And if it's a lot, do you know how that affects your sample team, or how many blokes you can put out in the twos this week?
We've brought over pretty much the whole squad apart from the long-term injury guys. So I think there's only 3 guys that have stayed in Adelaide. So hopefully the guys that don't get picked to play AFL this week do have the opportunity to fly back and play Maggies on the weekend. But I'm not too sure how that's going to work out, and whether that happens or not, I'm not sure.
Obviously 1 week at a time always for AFL footballers, but a pretty big game at Adelaide Oval in theory against the D's next weekend. Are you optimistic or hopeful that you might still be able to play that game there?
Yeah, like you said, obviously we've got the game on Saturday night that we're firmly focused on, but what next Thursday night looks like, I've got no idea, and I don't think probably anyone has any idea yet. So we'll just wait and see how that pans out, and hopefully we're playing at Adelaide Oval in front of a big crowd.
Darcy, what's your read on Hawthorn?
We haven't done our auto stuff yet, but sure in Sean Burgoyne's 400th, they're going to come, with a fierce intensity and a real will to win. So that's what we're preparing for, and we'll go more in depth into the opposition stuff today and tomorrow. But we're prepared for a fierce contest.
In terms of that 400th for Sean Burgoyne, it's a bit of a bittersweet one because he's a former Port Adelaide player. So how do you deal with him on the day and then after the day?
Yeah, obviously Sean, played some really good footy at Port Adelaide for an extended period of time and was a premiership player, and a player that a lot of Port fans will remember really fondly. So it's a nice coincidence, I guess, for him to play against us, but we're firmly focused on getting the 4 points and then congratulating him on his achievements afterwards.
Darcy, how have you read your own year?
Probably not playing as well as what I'd like to think I can, and at the form I was at last year, but I'm still working away as hard as I can and trying to play my role as best as I can. So I'm sure things will turn around, and hopefully I can start playing towards my best, going into hopefully some final footy.
Anything changed your form in any way?
Sorry.
Has anything changed this year to make it more difficult for you to live up to that form of last year?
Nothing in particular. I think it's just the ups and downs of AFL footy. Things aren't going to go your way 100% of the time, and it's something that me and the coaches are working on, and everyone is always continually working on, is trying to stay at the top of their game. So nothing's really changed. It's just the way things go, I guess.
Darcy, how's Connor's knee? Do you know if he's going to play this weekend?
I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about Connor and the other guys. I think obviously with main session today, we'll see if they can get through that, and then hopefully have a fitness test or whatever they need to get through. Sorry, just someone's entering the chat. Yeah, so that they'll have a fitness test and hopefully get through the session today, and we're hopeful that Connor can play on the weekend.
Darcy, how do you find playing inside Marvel Stadium?
It's an interesting stadium. It's definitely got a different feel to many other stadiums, obviously with the closed roof, and just the way the stadium feels. So it's different. It's we play there a few times a year, and we feel like we can play our best footy there, and hopefully we do on the weekend.
Is it working better for you guys out of defence at the moment? There was a fair bit of pressure put on you in recent weeks. Have you cleaned up what you think were the turnover issues there, and how you were moving the ball out of defence to get it deeper into attack now?
Yeah, I guess that's something that we always are really mindful of. The turnovers that you can't defend, so the ones coming out of back 50 and through the middle of the ground that are really hard to defend. So that's something we always work on, but it's something we understand there's always going to be mistakes in the game of footy, and we've got to try and, as a defensive group, mitigate them as much as possible while allowing the guys that play up the field, giving them the best chance to attack and score.
And how's Trent McKenzie today?
Yeah, Trent's in a similar boat to Connor, so hopefully gets through training today and comes up for the weekend. He's played a really important role for us over the last few weeks, ever since he's come in. So we're really hopeful, and we're hopeful that he's going to come in and play on the weekend.
On your form. Sorry, money man.
All good, man.
On your form, when that you've got the heights that you have last year, and as you say, you don't feel like you're reaching them this year. How does that, for want of not sound, I don't want to sound like a psychologist, but how does that sort of make you feel when you're out there and it's just not working for you like it was working last year?
Yeah, obviously at times it can be a little frustrating, but something I've worked on is, trying to not let mistakes or when things aren't going your way get to you too much, and remain in a positive mindset, and, have real confidence that things are going to go my way eventually.
What are the living conditions for you guys, Darcy? Like, can you see your family over in Melbourne?
We can. So we're not locked away in the hotel in quarantine as such. We can go out and get coffees, and you guys from Victoria can see family and friends. Obviously, we were trying to minimise the different potential exposure sites we could head to, but there's opportunities to catch up with family and friends, which is great.
Darcy, what was the flight like last night in terms of your other passengers on the other side of the plane?
Yeah, it was fine. Obviously, there's a big crosstown rivalry between us and the Crows, but things are very, very friendly and very normal on the flight.
You have to toss a coin to decide which side of the plane each one was on?
No, I wasn't involved in that, but you'd have to ask other people about that. I just jumped on the flight and watched the movie, and that was it.
Well, you mates with any of the boys, the Crows boys?
Yeah, obviously we had Billy Frampton here for a good few years, so good mates with him, and I went to school with Jake Kelly as well, so good mates with Jake as well. So there's always a bit of friendly banter along the way, but I think both teams have business over here, so there wasn't too much going on the flight last night.